This episode is just mm, okay. First season of Angel is a lot of growing pains, I think, and this
Yeah, I'm not
one,
loving it, to be honest. It's okay.
I mean, this is a big Doyle episode, and you're not loving Angel so far.
It's okay. Like I don't have a great grasp on anything. No episode stands out in any way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this episode is good because it has a tease for like what the next episode, which I think you'll enjoy.
I'll be
So
honest, like yeah, I watched Buffy and Angel the day before we recorded yesterday, and now I watched them 2 days ago, and I had zero problem talking about Buffy, and I feel like I already liked this Angel episode less than I did when we recorded yesterday.
yeah, yeah. Well, it is just a kind of middle of the road episode, monster of the week type of
Spoiler
thing.
alert, I ranked it as my favorite Angel episode though.
This one?
Of the first seven, I thought this was my favorite. I thought it advanced the most
Hmm.
about Doyle, and
I
I
don't
thought
know.
Cordelia was interesting how she like sort of liked Doyle. I liked Richard. I thought he was a good villain. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
I liked his family.
It's fun to see these demons and like to know that like, oh, maybe Angel's gonna flush out more like demon stuff for us, right? Like we see two different types of demons who can like shift their faces, right?
Hmm.
Like this is like new demon information, I think, to you, right?
Right.
Like there's not a lot of demons in Buffy are we mostly see the vampire transformations, right? In
Right. Yeah. None of
Buffy,
them are humans ever.
yeah, and then but in this one we're like, oh, two different types of uh of human slash demon people. That's cool.
And well, we'll get into it, but a lot of like the Doyle stuff was very human, like about the marriage and like why they got divorced and everything. But we'll get into it. So, I guess this the same day, so nothing else really happened. All right, so we
Oh, what
meet.
happened in wrestling, Logan? Did anything happen in wrestling? We didn't talk about that.
Yes, something did happen in wrestling with Kurt Angle. Did he?
Ooh.
I forgot what happened though. But Kurt Angle came into the WWE. Something happened. I don't know.
Oh, really? Wow.
Did that
Cool.
seem right? 1999.
I don't, I would not know. I'm the wrong person to ask.
All
I was
right.
just hoping you were like, yeah, all these wrestlers died in 9/11.
Chris Benoit killed his family.
Oh, shit, that was this week? Holy shit.
No, I don't think we'll
Speaking
get
of,
there. That
hey,
might be.
Logan, speaking of like dying in wrestling, did you hear about Bray Wyatt?
I did hear about that. Yeah,
Oh my God, it was horrible.
yeah.
Bray Wyatt died.
Yeah,
He's
that's very sad.
36.
Yeah. Is that the youngest?
Apparently,
Somebody.
apparently it was like a heart related issue. Like he was advised to travel with a defibrillator and like did not have it on him when he was found. So
Oh no.
yeah. So is that the youngest? No, I don't think so.
Okay. Did he ever win a Royal Rumble?
Bray?
I kind of feel like he might have.
I don't believe so. I think he was always there was a time when he was like second to last because he was one of those guys who had the Wyatt family for a while that would help him like run the ring.
Hmm.
But I feel like his era to win was big Cena era, right? Like so we know Cena won the Rumble twice and uh no, Bray never won. Bray never won. The
Okay.
Fiend, I don't even think the Fiend was ever in the Rumble, to be honest. And so it would have been when he was the Wyatt family cult leader guy. And I feel like for sure he was in the Rumble, but I believe he was like fighting Punk at the time or
He had a match at the Rumble. You're saying?
he either had a match or maybe he was champ for one of the Rumbles. I'm just telling you that like he would be in the Rumble and the whole thing would be like him and Braun Strowman and how are we going to get Braun Strowman out? And then I feel like Bray maybe got second. I have to go back and check my records, but I know for a fact he did not ever win a Rumble.
All right. Sorry to Bray Wyatt and rest in peace. Very sad.
Yeah, RIP.
Um. All right. So we meet this guy Pierce. Cordelia has a boyfriend Pierce, and he's not in it very long, but we met him.
It's not a boyfriend. She's dating him, right?
All
Like
right. Whatever. They're going on a
she's
date.
like going on the first date and she realizes he's hella boring because he just wants to talk about stocks.
Yeah, I guess it is a first date because she asked him like what he does for a
Yeah,
job.
he's a real billions bro right there. And she's like not into it.
Yeah, and Doyle's all sad because she's going on a date, and he's like, "The only thing worse than this would be if she knew I was a demon." which
Yeah.
she almost finds out this episode, but she
I
does not.
how does she not find out, to be honest?
I don't know, but it's
Like
very funny.
Doyle's ex-wife basically says, like, yeah, Doyle's part demon. They're just like my new husband. And Cordelia's like, oh yeah, okay, I
Oh, I
guess
wasn't even
so.
thinking about there. I was thinking about later on when she like when she beats him up. But
Oh,
there,
when
you're
she
actually kind of right. She should sort of realize there in that conversation.
yeah, no, like what's her name? Henry?
Harry.
Harry? Harry's just like Harry's like yeah, like Doyle and like my fiance, their families are demons. And it's like Cordelia's like, yeah, I'll go to your party. That sounds like fun. We'll go look
Yeah,
at
that's
some.
actually something I didn't even think about. Like
Yeah,
I thought like later on it was a little silly, but I didn't even think it was that weird that she didn't notice. But here,
I
I
think it's
think that you're
funny
right.
at the end when he changes and she doesn't notice, right? Like
Yeah, that is funny. But
that's a good bit, but like yeah, come on, Cordelia, you're gonna have to find out soon, right?
mhm. So Doyle opens one of Angel's books. Angel, I guess, likes to read books, which makes me like Angel a little less. But he opens a book and a picture falls out, and there's a picture of Buffy. And
And
Doyle's
Doyle's
like,
like, "Oh, I'm gonna jack off right now, bro. What a hottie!" And then he looks at Angel, who is like permanently depressed, right? Like, and then he's like, "Oh shit, man, this is Buffy." He's like, "I'll jack off later, but I won't tell you."
yeah, that's exactly what happened. And so,
Do you
so
think his
then,
dick has all those points all over him, Logan, when he turns
mm,
into a
only the head
demon?
of it though
You
does.
think that?
uh,
Ouch! Owie!
owie.
That that hairy woman is a freak.
Yeah, truly. That's why. Well, she says that he wasn't a demon when they got married, but then later he started turning into a demon.
Yeah, but then she's like, I need some more demon dick. Get me a red one.
Yeah, once
I've
you go
had
demon, you
green.
never go.
Yeah, semen. you Once you go demon, you need that semen.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
All right, so Doyle saves Cordelia. There's like a oh, and Doyle has a vision right after the Buffy picture falls
yeah.
out, and they go
Oh, my brain! I'm
and
having a vision.
and they go to I think it's just I almost said the bronze, but it's not the bronze.
Yeah.
They just go to some place and they fight some vampires, and Doyle saves Cordelia, right? And her boyfriend her guy she's seeing for the night, Pierce, drives off. So Cordelia,
Well, that's after they go and they save that dude who's like being gonna be eaten for lunch. But then one vampire biker guy is like, I'm gonna follow this fucker home and eat him at his house. And then Cordelia shows up and she's like, oh, I have a headache. And the dude's like, yo, I thought we were gonna fuck and can't we were gonna make a night of it. And Cordelia's like, nah, I'm too bored of your pig and
but didn't he
uh
run off from the vampires? Didn't he get scared and run off?
oh yeah, yeah, that dude is a total pussy. Gets super scared, drives away. Which I mean, come on, a biker guy with fangs shows up. Like he does like the logical thing. It's just like Cordelia's like so used to being like,
Right, you
oh,
can't blame that guy.
this is a Thursday. I'm being attacked by uh, a vampire. No big deal. And I gotta say, Doyle is pretty. I thought we were setting up for Doyle to have to change to kill this guy.
Oh,
Because like also during the vampire fight, Angel says like, "Yo, Doyle, why don't you turn into a demon? You're stronger as a demon. Like, why don't you do that?" And that's why like Angel changes to vampire face, right? Like they get stronger when they make that transformation. Have you put
right.
that together, Logan?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Angel says that to Doyle. It's like, "Hey, why are you hiding it?" And he's like, "Yo, I don't like being a demon. I don't want to talk about it. I'm all pointy and green."
Yeah, I didn't think about in that moment that he might turn into a demon to like sort of fight that guy.
Yeah, I
Um,
was like, oh, is he gonna like he's gonna have to transform in front of Cordelia, but he doesn't. He stakes the guy and like looks like a badass to Cordelia, who Cordelia is like, oh my god, I'm maybe I have a vampire staking fetish.
she is sort of into Doyle now. She says she might kill herself if she likes Doyle, and
Yeah,
she references the time she liked Xander, a Xander Harris reference.
yeah. She's like, I said I would never do a fixer upper again after I dated Xander Harris. I'm like, no, Doy, Xander fucking cheated on you with Willow. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
How Cordelia, we should never get over that, right?
Remember then she got stabbed that same episode. She like
Yeah,
fell through like
yeah.
what was that stuff called? Rebar? Is that what that stuff's called?
Yeah, yeah, she fell onto rebarb.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Rebarb McIntyre.
Oh, I don't know if I like that one or not. But all right, so then we go, we meet Harry basically is um his wife,
Hmm.
I guess. We didn't know that Doyle had a
He's
wife.
like, yeah, and there's a big dramatic moment. He's like, this is Harry, my wife. Dun dun dun. And then we cut to
Yeah,
commercial, and then Cordelia's like, what?
I
You're
didn't see it
married?
coming. The oh
Oh,
wait, well, but what sparked this was Cordelia was going to walk over to Doyle and sort of ask him out at one
yep.
moment, but then Harry shows up, and Harry's the
Harry
wife.
cock blocks, and then
Yeah,
but then Harry's like, sign my divorce paper, and
yeah, she wants
Doyle's
to get
like,
married to a new boyfriend, Richard, so she needs Doyle to sign the divorce papers. And Doyle thinks the reasoning for the divorce was that Harry didn't like after the fact, after when they got married, when he started turning into a demon. He was like, well, she clearly just doesn't like demons. But then later, he tells Angel to go keep an eye on Richard, and Angel realizes that she knows he's a demon. So Doyle's like, all right,
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
she
They
just didn't
they
like
sh-
me.
they film it like, oh my god, this guy is a demon and he's
He's gonna
about to
kill
murder
her.
her. We've been tricked. And then nope. Oh, she actually knows about it too. He just changed to a demon for no apparent reason other
Yeah,
than it was the perfect time to
that was
make it
weird.
seem dramatic. Um,
And he was walking like with a knife, like he was gonna kill her. He was like, no, it's just like to open this
I
box.
was gonna open up this lingerie because we were about to fuck.
Did you
Like,
say that? Oh, he's opening lingerie.
well, I mean, she implied that she's like, look at these boxes, and he's like, oh, it would have to be an awfully small nightie to fit in an awfully small box. And
Oh.
she like looks at him, and he's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna see you naked, butt naked,
Wow. That's all
because she's
right.
like, oh, this is for the wedding night, is what she said. So
Okay. I don't think I picked up on that.
yeah.
But so Doyle signs the divorce papers and Richard invites him to the bachelor party. Step one, get the ex-husband to sign the divorce papers. Step two, invite
Yeah,
him to the bachelor party.
and because they need his blessing.
Right. He has to give Richard his blessing to marry Harry so that then they can, yeah. So they
But
needed the
but
blessing
psych,
to then
but
kill him.
psych. No, the blessing is like, I gave you my blessing to eat my brain, and
Oh, it's like you get somebody to sign something, but then on the back they don't know they
yeah,
signed
but it's
over the
like
rights
it's
to
like,
everything.
he has, because like the second he gives, he's like, yeah, okay, I'll give you your blessing, and then Richard's like, okay, so he consented, everybody, and then they put him in that box from Star Trek. Um,
You ever see the Book of Henry?
uh, no, I have not. I was gonna make like a joke about a book that Henry has read, but then I couldn't think of anything. So,
Yeah. Oh, think about a book I have read. What do you got?
oh yeah, nothing.
All right, but in the Book of Henry, which is a movie that you should 100% watch, that I kind of don't know if I should spoil or not. But there's a part in the Book of Henry where they're like, "Hey, sign this paper to let me go to a talent show," but they trick somebody into signing papers like custody papers so that
Oh, that's
somebody
hilarious.
can go live with somebody else. Yeah, it's great stuff.
That's funny.
Um, but it's not meant to be funny. It's like meant to be totally serious. That movie's amazing. Um, all right, so we go. What happened next? Oh, we meet Richard's family. This was my favorite scene of the whole episode, I think. Did you like these guys sitting around the table
Oh, it's
talking
great.
about?
Yeah, it's great. They're a bunch of white, like nerdy people because Richard's nerdy, and then they're all demons as well. So that's fun. And we Angel learns that they're actually nice demons who have kind of gone against their uh mean past or whatever. So and we learn that Harry is what, a demonologist or something, right? Like she studies demon culture.
Yeah. So she started doing that after Doyle?
After Doyle, she got interested in it. She said she started studying it after Doyle had his change because neither
Okay.
of them knew. Um, and then so Doyle reveals he was worried about having a kid and passing it on to his kid, and so that's what kind of broke them up, right?
That
Like
is honestly, this is such a sad story for Doyle. Like
Doyle's a
he
sad guy.
he really is, like he just found this girl that he really liked. Then he turned into a demon. She didn't like that he was a demon, so they split up. But then she got really into demons and she started like researching them and she like marries this other demon and now he's just still sad while he like sparked this whole interest for
Well,
her life.
I,
That
I think this episode kind of like helps him turn around and realize like, hey, you know what? It was me that was the problem. I was the one that had an issue.
right.
Harry would have stuck with
You're
me
right.
if I would have embraced my demon side. And so he's kind of like, all right, well, maybe, we kind of get a hint like, oh, is he going to embrace himself? But he's still hiding it from Cordelia, right? Like, because we've heard Cordelia say multiple times, "Oh my God, demons are so gross, and I hate them," and who would want to be a demon, right?
Right. Yeah. And at the end of the episode, he doesn't even tell Angel the thing about Buffy. So he's still
Yeah.
concealing everything, keeping everything to himself.
Well, I think it's more a dramatic
Yeah, I
effect
know. Yeah, I
for the
know.
end of the episode. He's about to. I think he's going to say in the next
We
episode.
we talked about that. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, so what's he gonna do? Just not tell Angel what's happening with Buffy and like not do his job as like a vision guy? He's gonna ignore his visions. And then Daniel's like, no, I believe in the next episode they go right into this. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that
Yeah.
that
I
that
think the
makes
next
sense.
episode is like Doyle told me that something's wrong, Buffy, or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah, I assume that's
yeah,
exactly what it would be.
Doyle told me like there's this army dude who's been making the moves on you, so I have to come and interfere or whatever. Um, um,
But I love this scene with Richard's family when they're sitting there and they're talking about like what they're gonna be doing, and one guy's like, "Yeah, so we're gonna get the stripper there, and then we're gonna eat the husband, and then we're gonna do charades." And then one of the guys is like, "What? Charades? I don't want to
yeah,
do
yeah,
charades."
that's so funny.
This was my favorite part of the episode. That one little scene
That
there.
family. I also like the bachelorette party where they kind of like do the translation and the girls figure out like, oh, they're gonna eat Doyle.
No,
Uh,
that was our LVP, that old lady.
you don't like that old lady? That's so funny.
No,
It's such like a funny, like horrible. I like it because it's
but it seemed like it
stupid.
was so it was so
She
obviously
was
for
drunk.
drama.
She was drunk. Like that's the thing is like she's had too much fun at the thing, and she's like, "Oh, they're definitely not going to eat your ex husband's brain." And then the girls are like,
I don't know.
"Hey,
Did that?
I got to tell you right now, Logan.
Yeah,
Imagine imagine working at the detective agency, and you have to hang out with Doyle, Cordelia, and Angel all day long. Like Angel is insanely depressed person, right? Like he's sad all the time, right?
right.
Like he's a bummer. He does like Doyle's like, let's go out to dinner, let's go hang out at a sports bar, and Angel's like, I'm just gonna read a book and look at this picture of Buffy.
Yeah.
Um,
But then that's
and
Doyle at the end where Cordelia's like, "Are you just gonna be like sad all the time?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess so." But then he has
Yeah,
the vision.
exactly. That's the point. And then also Cordelia is like really annoying person who's like kind of also really dumb
But
and
she's only so annoying because she's hanging out with these other people who are the exact opposite of her. So compared to them, she seems insane.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, imagine the party. Like, you go and ask these detectives to help you, and then you're just like, oh my God, these are like three of the weirdest, like, least fun people to hang out with.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I think that's the
Um,
problem with Angel season one, to be honest.
you might be right. That's true. Like these episodes, like I'll like check the runtime and I'll be like, oh, there's like half the episode left. But Buffy, there's not a second in Buffy, even in like the bad episodes where I want the episodes to end.
No,
Right.
yeah, and that's the thing is like I'm going to tell you, Buffy season one is tougher, right? Like because we're learning these characters, and yeah, we have Xander early on, who's just fun and wacky, right? And Giles is kind of stuffy, and Buffy is hot, and Willow is like I think Willow is the worst part of season one.
Me too.
Um,
Remember, I was not on board with Willow for a long
yeah,
time.
yeah. But I mean, just like Buffy, just know that like 3 or 4 seasons from now, you're gonna love all the Angel characters too.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I assume that I will. The
Who's your favorite right now? Out of if you had to rank those three, rank those three. You're gonna say probably Cordelia because they your love of Buffy, but
no, I would say Angel Cordelia Doyle.
yeah, Doyle three. Okay.
Yeah, but I think this was my favorite Doyle episode so far. And it's my favorite episode of Angel. So
I might put Angel last, honestly, on my ranking, to be honest.
no, I like his like how tortured he is. I like that. That's
That's
pretty
kind of a
good.
bummer. Like I think he's fun when he's undercover. When he was in the last episode, he was undercover as the other guy. Um,
Yeah, I like his dynamic with Kate.
yeah, not enough Kate, right? Like we need her in the opening credits.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
You don't really know a lot of other characters yet, so
Well, I know the people at Heart, Wolfram and Heart.
yeah, Wolf, Ram, and Hart.
Oh, that's interesting that you just said it like that.
Wolfram
The
and Hart? What do you mean? How'd
You
I
said
say it?
Wolf, Ram, and Heart,
Oh, I
which
meant
made
to
it
say
seem like one
Wolfram
of them
and
was a
Hart.
wolf, one of them was a ram, and one of them had something to do with a heart.
Yeah, I think I just misspoke, like O and zero.
Okay, all right. But so I forgot. Oh, they're like at the party or whatever, and Angel gets thrown out of a window. He like follows these guys out, and then they start beating him up, and they toss him out a window. And then Doyle gives his blessing, so they put him in a box. Put him in like a magician's box. I don't know why he got in the box, but he did get in the box. And they
Yeah.
and
What's in the
we
box?
we laughed a lot about how the markings on his head, like with the marker, so that they know where to cut open his head. We thought that that was very funny. And we also talked about how, remember in that episode where we thought it was the puppet show, the one where Giles gets in a box and like the guy is about to like cut open his head and take his brain out. Do you
Hmm.
remember that at all? We
Yeah.
think that
Yep. Yep.
that's the puppet show. But
Yeah, that is the puppet show because we thought the puppet was trying to steal the brain, right? Like, and then
what do
it
you mean
turned.
we think? What was doing it?
It wasn't. It was the kid.
Mm,
Um, it wasn't you. The puppet was a demon hunter. Remember?
right. Yeah, I do
He
remember.
turns out to be a good
Kid.
guy. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it turns out to be like a kid with cancer or something, right? Like,
Yep.
oh no,
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 no, no.
the
They
kid
got a kid with
died.
brain
Yeah,
cancer, but it didn't
yeah,
work
but it
because he
didn't
had
take
brain
him. It was,
cancer.
but it was a different. It was like it was like the talent show magician, I think, because like they were put Giles in the guillotine. It was gonna cut his head off, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Buffy has always been really dark show, like the brain cancer thing, and there's the one where the computer one where he makes the kid hang himself. um that's so
It's a
what's
good
that called?
show. It's
I
crazy. Yeah. Well,
Robot You
hey,
Jane.
they, yeah, they had a show they had to cancel because of Columbine. Let me just say,
Yeah.
there's
Well, they postponed it. They didn't cancel it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But all right, so Doyle gets in the box and whatever. What's in the box? It's Doyle.
Mhm. It's
uh
Doyle. I said the box looks like the box from like the first episode of Star Trek, The Next
wow.
Generation, where they have Commander Pike, or I think it's actually the first show, and Commander Pike is in a box, and he can only like make a blinking noise because he's been like mentally disabled or whatever. So
Wow.
look up Commander
You big Star
Pike
Trek fan?
box. Not I'm more I've never watched the original series. I love Next Gen, which is Captain Picard, and I've watched all of Deep Space Nine.
Watch
That's
all the
about
movies.
I have seen all of the Next Gen movies. I have seen a couple of the originals, and I've seen all of Chris Pine movies.
Wow.
So a
Pretty big
big,
fan.
yeah, enough to pay attention to it, but it's
You could
not
like have
like,
a conversation with somebody about Star
oh
Trek.
yeah, yeah, I could talk about I could talk about Klingons and Romulans and Odo and by the way, speaking of Deep Space Nine, do you know that there's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer character who's a main character on Star Trek Deep Space Nine?
I had no idea.
Yeah, it is Principal
Flutie?
not
Snyder?
Snyder is
Wow.
he
Why did I say
play
Flutie first? That was
yeah.
weird.
I felt like if I would have just said Snyder, they never called him Principal Snyder. They always called him Snyder. So by saying
Yeah.
Principal, I knew you were going to guess Flutie.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
think that's what threw it
um,
off.
but Snyder, he plays a Ferengi, which is a these like aliens with big ears and noses and are really into money.
I gotta look
Um,
this up.
yeah, type in his name is Quark. Type in Quark, Deep Space Nine, and he's
Oh, I'm
like,
looking at him. He looks fucking awesome.
right?
He looks like a little like Paul Giamatti from the Planet of the Apes movie.
Quark is great. He runs the bar. Deep Space Nine is
Wow.
a Federation outpost that like is on the border of these two warring factions. And
Can I tell you
Captain,
my favorite thing about the design of this guy?
what's that?
It's that his ears connect to his eyebrows and his
And
nose.
they have that ridge, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome
Hmm.
looking. Wow, Quark. That's very cool. Um, all right, so where were we now? Oh, this is where we learned something about Doyle, that he was a third grade teacher. That's another thing
Yep.
about Doyle.
Yeah, and he worked at a soup kitchen.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're really laying it on. This is a good
He's a nice
guy.
guy. Yeah, he's a good guy. He just turns into a freaking pointy demon when he
Um,
sneezes or whatever he said.
yeah, why is that? Why does he sneeze all the time and turn into a demon?
I think he just transforms. Like I think that's one of the things that like transforms, and he's trying to hold back the whole time, right? Like I wonder how much like it seemed like the other demons when they were all hanging around each other just would be in demon mode, right?
Right.
Except when they were at home, they were all as humans, right?
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
then at the party, they're all like, "Yeah, let's fucking demon out, bros. Let's look at this stripper." And
Was she a woman or was she a demon? I forgot. Was she
I
like a
don't know. They
human?
didn't show her. They just they showed kind of like
No, they
she looked like a
showed her.
human, right?
Yeah, I
They
feel like she was just a woman, like a human woman.
yeah.
That would have been cool if she was a demon though, because these demons would be into a demon.
Well, I don't know. This guy's marrying a human woman, so
Yeah, he's
maybe
married. Yes.
maybe
Well, I guess it's like his last chance to have contact with another human woman. But you think he would cheat on her with demons? You think
well,
that would be
maybe
okay?
he's like I mean, clearly he's into humans. He's not in like he could marry a female demon probably easier
But I'm
than
sure that his family wants him to marry a human.
why would they? Wouldn't the family be more likely to be like marry your own kind?
They want to assimilate. Is that a word?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know.
It
It
didn't
wasn't a thought
seem
I had until now, honestly.
yeah, it didn't
Like,
seem like any of the women were well, we didn't see any of the women change to demons, right?
really? No, I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so. No.
Yeah.
That old lady who's like well, I'm not going to eat your husband's like brain. She wasn't like a demon. She was too busy playing horny Pictionary or whatever they were playing.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna draw some like
Porno
sexy,
Pictionary is what they
yeah,
said.
porno Pictionary. That seems fun. Is that real? It's got to be real.
I guess it's just like your word is dick, and then you draw a
Draw a
dick, and you're
dick.
like, oh, it's a dick, but it's got a bunch of spikes at the tip, so it's like Doyle's dick.
Well, that's how they know. They wouldn't even know a normal dick, probably.
Yeah.
If you draw a normal dick, they would be like, was that a foot? What is that? I don't know.
Hmm.
So we go to the wedding, or we go not to the wedding. Cordelia and who was Cordelia with at the thing? Oh, Cordelia's with Harry, obviously.
Yeah,
It's
she
Cordelia and
gets.
Harry hanging
Yeah,
out, and
Harry's like,
they
you're the only other woman on the show, so I'm gonna invite you to the bachelorette party. And Cordelia's like, yeah, I really don't have any friends,
yeah, it's true.
so I might as well hang out with you because I'm not gonna hang out with the ghost all day.
Yeah, but
Remember,
but
she
yeah,
has
we
a
haven't seen her
ghost she lives
ghost
with.
friend, Phantom Danny.
Yeah,
No, that's
Phantom
Danny
Dan,
Phantom. What?
Danny
Phantom
Phantom.
Phantom, what's his name?
I forget his name. I don't remember the ghost's name, but
It was Phantom
she has the
something.
kid ghost, right? The mom ghost they exorcised or whatever.
Right. God damn it. What was that kid's name?
Man,
Phantom.
William, write this down. He'll never remember this
Yeah.
and lose
The
points.
if you want Daniel to get an easy point, what was I'll know it eventually though. I just
Danny
don't know it.
Phantom.
Danny Phantom is what I think. But all right, so Doyle turns into a demon and Cordelia beats him up, but then later Doyle comes in normal and Cordelia's like, "What happened to your face? You look like you got beat up or whatever."
Later, it's like literally 1 second. They cut and they
Yeah,
cut back, and he just pops up behind her. And oh, she's
yeah.
like, "Oh, you got beat up," and it's like, "Oh, top of the morning to you, Cordelia." You
And
guys don't
then
make fun of his Irish accent
why would we make fun of it?
because it's great, and it makes me think about David Boreanaz's horrible
Yeah, we
Irish
only make fun of
accent.
his. Doyle's at least is that's just how he
Doyle's is
talks.
real, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe. If it's not, then kudos to that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking tricked me. Um, All right, so then we go to Harry basically. She gives Richard his ring back. She's like, "You tried to eat Doyle, and then you did a lot of bad stuff. I'm giving you your ring back," or whatever happened.
Yeah.
Then the end of the episode, Doyle's all sad. Cordelia comes in. She's like, "Hey, let's go do something. You're always a big bummer all the time." And then and then what happens? He has a vision. And who does he have a vision of? But
You know,
the nubile Buffy. That's a word
um,
they say.
the what's funny is these visions also are the same way they edit transitions. So
Yes.
it's always like, oh, are we changing scenes? Oh no, he's rubbing
Great
his head.
call.
Yeah,
Great call,
yeah,
Tim. It is the
yeah.
exact same thing. Yeah, honestly, I'll be watching it. It'll happen. I'm like, why did I find that so jarring? And you just completely nailed what it is. They start them and finish them like they're transitions. Um,
Yeah, it's
I
just like
love the
flash, 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 flash.
transitions.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's good. I like it. I like how much more dour this show is, less fun. Um, and it gets great. I have to tell you, Dan has always said that he thinks like Angel season 4 or 3
Yeah,
is like the
4.
best TV show he's ever seen. And I'm
It's
gonna tell
Buffy
you,
season 3, Angel season 4. That's what he loves.
but he says Angel season 4 is like the best television
Yeah.
of all time. And I gotta tell you right now, Logan, I can't even remember since season 4. Like I have no idea what he's talking about. I've seen all of Angel multiple times. My wife loves David Boreanaz, loves Angel specifically, and on she is the one who like initiates the rewatch, and she rewatches Angel way more times than Buffy. And I'm always like,
Ask
hey,
her
let's
what's
look.
in season 4. I'm sure she knows.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm gonna tell you,
What if you asked her and she was like, "Oh, you mean the greatest season of television ever?"
yeah, exactly. I'd be like, oh my god, do I have a type?
You look it up. I'm sure if you've read some of the episodes, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is a great season."
I don't know, because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think any season of Angel's better than any season of Buffy.
Wow. Wow.
I like Angel
Interesting.
fine. I think there's great episodes, but I'm going to tell you right now, Logan, Angel's low on my character list of this universe. Like
I talked to
I'm
Daniel yesterday about we should at the end of Buffy we should do a bracket of all like whether it's 32 or 64 like just all the prominent ish characters that have ever been on Buffy put them
mhm,
into a bracket and podcast about it.
yeah.
And so Angel you don't think would make it that far?
Well,
I like Angel.
I'm telling you right now, Angel's my least favorite character, the main characters of this season currently. So
Yeah.
I would go Cordelia 1, Doyle 2, and then Angel.
Yeah. I thought well you mean maybe if you were talking about just this season of Angel, but I'm bringing all of Buffy into it.
Well, yeah, no, I'm telling you, Buffy too. I'm like, I'm never on board with Angel ever. Like, he's a creep. He's too
He is a
depressed.
creep. He's
And
like
Gel I
200
would
years old.
Angelus would be ranked way higher than Angel in my opinion. Um,
Oh, that's good.
so
We could do both of them.
yeah,
You'd have to
yeah,
come on for that because we need a tiebreaker.
great. Sounds good.
Or we can call you if we ever need a tie or whatever. Remember that one time we
Remember
tried
that one
texting you
time
and you didn't text us
I
till after
wasn't
the
I
episode?
wasn't available. I mean, how I didn't know you guys came up. You didn't like say, "Hey Tim, be available for
Yeah,
this
I
rule."
know. But
You
I
said
don't, I
it,
don't think we even thought about tiebreakers until it happened. And then we were like,
and then
oh
you're like,
shit.
"Oh, fucking Tim ruined it." And then you guys are all mad at me because I didn't know what was going on. Like I would have like been paying it. Literally, I just had my phone on silent. I didn't check my phone for an hour and like missed out.
I
And
wasn't
then
mad.
yeah, Dan acted like he was bad, but
He probably was mad.
um,
All right, we're at the end of the episode. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. My MVP, I'm gonna go to Richard. I thought Richard was very
yeah.
funny.
I'll give this a 3 stars too because it still is a good show.
I
If
like
you
Doyle
like,
too.
oh my god, um, Doyle's good. I'll give Doyle my MVP here in this one because we get Doyle, and then my LVP. That old lady is funny. Like it's such a stupid moment, but is Harry bad?
Harry, no. Harry's good.
What about that one vampire is just like, ha, I followed you for no reason.
What?
the biker vampire that Doyle stakes.
Oh, oh, you mean you're going for the LVP? Who's your
Yeah,
MVP?
yeah, yeah.
Doyle?
I said Doyle.
Okay. Yeah, LVP. I went with the ant who was like, they're not
Yeah,
gonna
I
eat
know, I
Doyle.
know, I know. I'm gonna go with the biker vampire.
That's a good pick. We didn't even talk about that guy, Daniel and I. So great choice. All right,
Hmm.
well, let's read a little from the.
Do you guys have a ranking? You said it was first. What
Oh,
was
yeah,
Dan's
I put
ranking?
it first. Daniel put it 4 out of 7, right in the
Mhm.
middle.
Yeah.
So
Well, since this is my first Angel episode that I've talked about on Buffy's Angels, this is my fucking favorite Angel episode.
wow, of all time. So anytime we talk
Oh,
about this episode, we'll be like, oh, you
you have to
mean
be
Tim's
like, yeah,
favorite
Tim's
episode?
number one. Yeah, Tim's number one episode, the
And
bachelor
it's your
party.
favorite Buffy
And it's
episode too.
and it's all no, I didn't say it. Oh wait, it is. The initiative is better than Anne, which is the other episode. I talked about Anne, and then I talked about one. What was ever after
And
Anne?
damn it, it's a great question.
Buffy comes
Dead
back.
Man's Party.
Oh man, that wasn't very good either.
No, it's not.
That's like the Night of the Living Dead party, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like I remember like a lot of guys trying to talk on the
it's a
phone
lot.
at the party.
Yeah, yeah. Dan like those guys, and they're like, "Yo, we're like totally Cheech and Chong ripoffs, bro."
Yeah, Daniel did love those guys. That was
Yeah.
weird.
Um. Uh. And it was a Oingo Boingo song reference or something, right? Dead Man's Party. The yeah, so I will say initiative number one, I will go with and number two, and then
I
Dead
agree
Man's
with that.
Party. Three.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yep.
All right, so the Patreon, Josh Merlis says, talking about the Buffy episode, he said, who did the sound for this episode? That ice cream sound effect was nuts. Some corny music cues here too. I really didn't like the whole desperate guy turn for Riley, but boy did it pay off with that commando twist. I love where this is going. More, please. Are we going to find out that Wolfram and Hart are funding this research? What more will come?
Whoa. You think
Very
Wolfram and
interesting,
Hart is
Josh
funding this
Merlis.
research? I mean, Wolfram and Hart is filming this research.
Filming this research?
Oh, funding this research.
What if they were just hiding up, filming it, the whole thing?
Yeah, they were filming it because they're real nasty boys and they're like jacking off to Buffy, just like Doyle in that photo. No,
Great question, Josh. Who knows
yeah,
what's to come? I wish
I,
Daniel was here to talk to me.
I well, I know what's to come, and
All
I could
right.
tell you.
Well, don't say anything.
I have to say
I'll
the
look up
ice
who
cream.
did the sound for it, by the way.
No, the ice cream sound effect is good. Because I really, it's like a. And I gotta say, if this is one thing I wanted to say, two things I want to say. First of all, if you've never seen, have you seen Community, Logan?
Yes, some of it.
Do you know the Chevy Chase soft serve ice cream thing?
I don't think so.
There's a button at the end of the episode, which is just like a little scene at the end of the credits, and it's Chevy Chase getting soft serve, and he basically does exactly what Buffy does. He breaks it, and it keeps coming out. He keeps trying to hold on to it and stuff. Look that up. It's really related to this episode. The other thing I wanted to say is I'm halfway through the missing searching episode, but Logan, do you guys ever talk about the the Modern Family screen episode?
No,
Have you ever seen the Modern
no,
Family screen episode?
I have
It's
not.
been
I
it's
assume
been
Daniel has though.
it's been going around Twitter this last week. And it's a whole episode that is a screen episode where it's like the wife
Wow.
is stuck at the airport and you just watch her Google and talk. She FaceTimes at one point.
Do
Check
they cut
that
in the
out.
confessionals like they do on that show?
I'll send I'll no, it's all screen. Like someone posted the entire episode on Twitter. I'll find it and send it to you.
I love when
Uh
people do that. They're like, "Fuck it, the Super Mario Brothers
well,
movie."
it was funny because I was watching it and then someone responded is like I got 10 minutes in and realized it was the whole episode. I thought it was just a clip.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah.
No, I didn't know that that was a thing.
Yeah.
So
So,
that's very. Has any other show done that? That's
it's
pretty
kind of
cool.
embarrassing Dan would not bring that up when he
Wait,
says
why'd you bring up Community and then bring up Modern Family?
well, number one, Community relates to Buffy and the soft serve thing. That's
Okay.
and then number two, I was
You were
listening
just
to
thinking about
the
other shows.
I was thinking about that, and I'm like, it's gonna be insane if Dan doesn't bring up like I love everything that's
Maybe
a
he hasn't seen that,
screen
but I thought
movie.
he saw all of Modern
He has
Family.
watched all. I mean, he's a TV fuckboy. It seems like a basic ass bitch show to watch that he would
Yeah,
love, and we all know
seriously.
he's the most basic. Freaking orders mint chip ice cream.
Oh my gosh, shots at mint chip ice. What if he ordered vanilla ice cream? That'd be way worse. That's just vanilla ice
No,
cream.
no, no. But he goes to Ben and Jerry's and gets mint chip when there's like a million flavors that
I
have
would
like.
probably just get chocolate or
Oh
something.
man, you're like, so what? You're trying to out basic Dan?
Yeah, I like
Oh,
chocolate ice cream.
all right.
If I'm gonna go somewhere, I'd want to get something I know I'm gonna
We
like.
get it. You're his protege. Chill out, man. Just we
I
get
hate
it.
that. I hate
We
that.
get it. You want to be Daniel. We get it.
No. All right. So then Josh Merlis says, Angel, we are just walking a tightrope between silly and suspenseful. Sometimes we land on our feet, sometimes we fall on our butt. Solid episode, second best so far behind Therapy Cops, which was Sense and Sensitivity, if you remember
Mm-hmm.
that one. That
Yep,
was a
I
good
do.
one. Angelica Joyce says, I like how they Angelica does. She says B7, A7 to Buffy, seventh episode of Buffy. I like
Oh,
that.
okay.
She says, every time I watch this, I think about an interview Mark did where he talked to Joss. Joss. Daniel had to tell me that Mark is the actor who plays Riley. I forgot his last name, but that's who Mark is. Joss told him not to go online because the fans fucking hated him for being Buffy's new love interest, and of course for not being David, LOL, David Boreanaz she's talking about.
Sure.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear from the beginning that Riley is 100% a human version of Angel. A million feet tall, he has a stupid haircut, and he's written to be quiet and mysterious. He just kills demons instead of people. I want to say, Angelica, I like Riley's haircut. I think
Um,
he's a cute guy with a nice
I,
haircut.
I also have to say that's pretty presumptuous of Angelica to say that Riley's a human.
That's interesting. That's it. But I like the
I'm
comparison.
just saying, like, we thought Oz was human. It turns out he's a werewolf, right? Like, I mean, I guess maybe he was a human. I don't know. I'm not revealing anything
Right, you just
here.
shouldn't assume. You shouldn't
I'm just
assume
saying, like,
someone's a
in these
he, you
shows,
know?
yeah, in these shows, you have to assume, like, hey, this is a character that's showing up on the show. Maybe there's something else. This is the twisty show, right? Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why I always feel silly when I'm like, I feel like I'm just buying into exactly what the show wants me to think. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm
No,
a
it's so
sucker.
good. No, it's awesome, Logan. It's so
I
good.
know, I know.
So
That's why I
when
feel
you
like I should just be
yeah.
completely honest with the
When
way I'm
you no,
feeling.
it is good as someone who has watched everything. It's fun and to listen to Angelica, I know who is watching along and doesn't know. That's a great prediction. It's fun and a good point. Like you do have to think it if Riley ends up being
But maybe she has seen this. Why does she call them all by their names like she's so familiar with them?
oh, I thought she was one of those people watching along.
Yeah, I forget too, honestly. Like sometimes Daniel will be like, this person's watching along for the first time, and
It's
then this
I
person's
think
seen it
it's
a lot, and I get
I think it's
confused.
better to assume none of these people know.
But I think Angelica has seen them before because she talks about these people with like reverence. Like she loves all these guys. She talks about it in the next one. Shout out to Carlos Jacot, who played Ken in episode one, and he's in Anne from Buffy. So
Okay.
she's like knowing all the references and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like she's probably seen it. But she says also in the Buffy one, she says Joss told him it would be fine though, because he would just get to hit a guy. Wait. Joss told him it would be fine though, because he would get to hit a guy, and man, does he punch Parker in his stupid face and right into my heart. Okay. Yeah, that was great. Team Riley forever, she says. Awesome. And she also says about A7, shout out to Carlos Jacot, who played Ken in episode 1, season 3 of Buffy, and great character actor. And I agree. I've definitely seen this guy in lots of stuff.
Hmm.
Joshua Cole says this is a big turning point for Buffy for season 4 and the show. We finally get some info on the Commandos and finally get Spike back.
Yep.
And I agree with all of that. See, this episode seems hugely important. and I'm very excited for the future of
But
Buffy.
you didn't watch the credits, so you didn't realize that, like, hey,
Didn't
Spike
see
is
it.
a title credited character now. So
Nope. Yeah,
you don't
Daniel had to
you
tell
don't
me.
see him rocking out driving his car with the little slit of daylight,
Right.
which is a good Spike scene in the credits. Goes well with the music.